Rise and shine, beloved. Great grand rising. Come on in, come on in. Let's get ready to dive deeper into this fifth dimension of gratitude because we're raising the vibration, high frequency February. Yes, this is day number 27. So let's go, let's go, let's go. And day number 58 that we've been here. Let me throw a great grand rising up on Facebook and make sure I'm broadcasting, and I am. And happy Thursday, guys. And let's go. There you go. All right, let's activate. Let's connect in. Activating the success mind. We're going to sit a good posture, take a good healing deep breath in, and exhale. And just relax. We always just want to come to good relaxation. Just relax. Deep breath in. Exhale. Turn the focus inward to the rich inner life, the kingdom of God that is within. We tap into the realm of infinite wisdom, insight, intelligence, discernment, peace, grace, gratitude. Deep breath in and exhale. We're relaxed and we're open to receiving all the good we desire and deserve in this moment. Come on and give me a great grand rising. Let me know that you are here. This is day 2 of taking a good deep walk into the fifth dimension of gratitude, which is looking at gratitude for your career, your calling, and your commissioning. What is that assignment? What are you here to do? What is the purpose? Now more than ever, you have to make it a top priority to settle in and come home to self. Let me take a minute and talk about that as we are in this high vibration month, raising the vibrational frequency. And I've given you many keys and tips on how to do that. But I want you to now, more than ever, like I said, you have to come home. You have to come home to your divine self, your God self, your essential self, whatever language works, your higher self. You have to come home. It's time to come home. And once you tap in to your divine self, your higher self, we have to embrace that with joy. Embrace that with faith. Embrace that with thanksgiving. Embrace it with joy because you are okay. You are not a misfit. You are not an error. You are not forgotten. You are not tossed aside. I want to take a moment and do that. If you would just embrace how much has been invested in you. And yesterday we talked about your wealth attractors, what I call your wealth attractors. And these are your predominant innate giftings that you came here with that will open up everything that you desire when you tap in and honor. I shared that how earlier on in my ministry, I was not in an environment that initially honored the gifting of the teacher. They highly prized the preacher, the anointed hooper. So what did I do? I trained myself how to be a good preacher, a hooper, right? But then as I began to grow and mature, I realized that I was sent here to teach. And so you own your gifting because your primary giftings are going to be your wealth attractors. And I use the story of Joseph from sacred text, that no matter where Joseph landed, according to the writer of Genesis, no matter where he landed, rather it was at home, in the pit, in the palace, in prison, his giftings always worked. And I want you to rely on that more so than ever. In my community, in the community that I am in with my mentor, one of our, and I don't know who it was, I promise I'm going to get better at remember. I didn't know I was going to say this, but they made a post and it was brought up in our meeting that said do it the hard way, not the right way. And that stood out to me because someone who have, I would say, bantered with or wrestled with perfectionism and wanting everything to be done right. Now, there's nothing wrong with excellence. There's a difference between perfectionism and excellent. We want to be excellent. We want to do excellent work. But I would battle with perfectionism. And so over the years, even now, I'm training myself how to be okay with good. Good is better than not done. Striving for perfection leads to procrastination. Can you put that in your notes? All of these things work together in groupings. They are the underpinnings or the root causes of procrastination: perfectionism, comparison, judging. All of that leads to self-judging and criticism, leads to procrastination. Good is better than not done. And that statement stood out to me because that is where I am and where I have been, where you want to do everything the heart's way, the Holy Spirit's way, whatever language works, right? Your higher self way versus the right way. Because something can be done the right way, but it's not your heart's way. And your heart's way is always going to be the right way. Can you put that in your notes, please? The heart's way, Spirit's way, guidance way is always going to be the right way. So as all of this relates to raising our vibrational frequency and honoring your giftings, your calling, your commissions, your career, and not to be afraid to change and shift. So when we look at this and we look at raising our vibration and getting back into our zone of genius, we talked about that from the Gay Hendricks book, Zone of Genius, right? So when we look at this, excuse me, I have a little itch this morning. When we look at this, I want to ask you a couple of questions, and I'm looking at your notes right here, right? So when we want to raise the vibrational frequency around your career, your calling, your commission, you have to begin to come home. Like I said, number one, come home. Come home to yourself. And then I want you to recall a time that you were happy in your work. You felt really good. Reflect on a moment that you felt like you were deeply aligned with your purpose. And what made that so meaningful for you? You have to go back to that. When were you the most happy in your job, in your career, in your calling, in your gifting? If I were to say that there were so many segments of time, but when I was working with my spiritual father, Apostle Fred Sanders, at Victory Deliverance, for those number of years that we were there, even me relocating and coming to Ohio is one of the most satisfying times of my life. And I'm still in that, and we're into, oh my goodness, a 35-year stretch almost. Yes, a 35-year stretch. I don't get to see him as often as I should, but when we recognize things about your work and your calling, the time I spent with Von Thomas Ministries on the executive board there, all the powerful, phenomenal work we did with the annual advances, all the revivals. I was like the in-house revivalist, right? And all the people that we've seen, their lives change, the transformation. I was operating with my wealth attractors. I was in my number one gifting, right? And during that time, even as, I had so many titles, I don't even know what they were. But even working with the Bible school and working with preparing people to be able to pass their exams for eldership, to be ordained as elders and ministers, and getting them ready for catechisms and getting them through our Bible school. I started honing in on my gift of teaching. And then I learned how to bring that teaching into the preaching. And what I'm doing now in this segment, this is why we call it commissionings or assignments. I am commissioned in this season as a mental coach to walk one-on-one, hand in hand with you, so that we can look at your most pressing need. What are the issues? What are the obstacles? How do you get around them? And just work specifically with you. I work in small groups, right? In the Spiritual Success Life community. These are all, we ask you for 12 months. Come in for 12 months. Give yourself a chance, beloved. Give yourself a chance to be able to transform, to be able to live the next version of yourself, learning how to manage your nervous system, how to manage your mindset, how to create new winning habits so that you can be the person you know that you're here to be. Y'all talk back to me today, so that you could be the person that you know that you are here to be, and that you can leave here fully knowing that you have done everything that you've been asked to do. I just threw the URL up there. If you're interested, just go there, look around. If you want to have a private chat with me, then go to the website, the same thing, ElonaSanders.com, and just click on mentorship or anything, and you can schedule a one-on-one call for me that's complimentary, right? So with saying all of that, you have to look at a time in your life when you were most satisfied with what you were doing and what you were bringing to the table, right? And then another thing we want to look at is what doors or opportunity have opened to you in your professional or spiritual journey that you are really, truly thankful that you went through that door. Me relocating here, I'm so grateful that I came through this door. I was just sharing this with one of my children the other day, and I said, I would have never, ever thought in my wildest dreams that I would be here in this state and stay here in this part of the country, the U.S., for as many years as I did. Had no clue that this was going to be a major, probably the most major part of my life, certainly the biggest chunk of my life, my adult life. This has been the longest stretch, the biggest chunk, but it's been good. So what are we doing? We want to raise our vibrational frequency. Number one, come home. I command you to come home. Come to your higher self, your God self, your essential self. Tap into the heart. Look at your career, your calling, your commission. We want to honor that. And for your assignment, I want you to really look at your top 3 wealth attractors, right? For me, it's teaching, it's administration, it's the prophetic, it's those kind of things, the top 3, that you want to bring that into what you do. A researcher, I can absorb, I can learn. You know, yesterday when I was done, I spent like 4 hours just absorbing. And when you have giftings, when you have these natural abilities, you have an innate talent for being able to do what you do. No holds barred. You are amazing. You are fantastic. And I want you to be absolutely phenomenal and brilliant at what you were sent here to do. So this 5th dimension of gratitude, your career, your calling, your commissioning, your wealth attractors, let's come together and let's stir up the gifts that are in us and go forward. Deep breath in and exhale. All right, lovelies, I'm releasing you for the rest of your day. Have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Right back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern. Bye for now.